What's up, guys? And we're back with a review on the Aimpoint PRO. Now, I personally really like the Aimpoint series of optics because they're all freaking tanks. They all work very well. Their controls are very simple, and bottom line, it would be my first choice for an optic that I would defend my life with. Now, there's some interesting and unique things going for this that works itself out really well as far as the type of optic that it is. Now, the Aimpoint PRO stands for Patrol Rifle Optic. And what's really nice about this, in my opinion, is that the optic never shuts off. Powered down to its lowest setting is its very first setting for night vision. Now, a lot of guys will say, oh, won't that drain battery? Well, in a way, yes, you could say that. But the battery that this guy takes is a 12 volt, a micro 12 volt. And what's really nice about that specific battery is because it's very small, but it's very powerful. And it'll power this system for 3 years on the first day setting, which is number 7 on this particular optic. So I find that very unique, and I find that very functional in just the fact that you don't ever have to worry about this dot suddenly turning off on you unless the battery itself dies. Now, something else that it has going for it that all the other Aimpoints have going for it are that the elevation and windage covers are secured to the actual battery cap, which is nice in a lot of ways, simply because you don't have to worry about losing them or anything like that when you go ahead and do your elevation and windage adjustments for your zero. Now, putting it back is kind of a pain in the ass, like I said, because it is going to stretch a little bit and you got to just play with it some. But what I think is very nice is that this and the Aimpoint Comp M4, which in my opinion is the best Aimpoint out there, they come stock with a mount. And this specific mount I think is actually very nice because it can function as a quick release mount because it doesn't secure super duper duper tight to where you could just unscrew the thing. And see, I just did it there and I'm unscrewing it now. But you can also, it also has a torque inhibitor in there. So when you hear the snap, anytime now, that means that it's tight enough. A lot of guys, especially how I was taught, was to do it twice to ensure that it's there. But honestly, when you hit the first click, it means it's tight enough, so you don't have to screw with it anymore. Now, what I believe is really nice about this as well, and oh yeah, I forgot, just to show that this is what it is. It's the Aimpoint Patrol Rifle Optic. Something else that I actually find really nice about this is the controls for an Aimpoint. Controls for an Aimpoint, in my mind, are the best optic controls on the planet because all it is just a simple dial. You can run this with gloves, you can run this with your bare hands. Okay, if you have 2 fingers or even 1, you're good to go. And you can tell the position in which that control is by tracking that white dot. And the lowest setting also has a white dot to correspond with it. So when you line those two up, you're on the first setting for your night vision. And in my opinion, the controls for it are what make it the best for me, simply because it's dumb guy proof. And I don't have to sit there and mash buttons with gloves to get it to work right. So, waterproof, shockproof, all that good stuff. And I have tossed this in the lake, and I have dropped it, and it has taken a couple hits. Couple of hits being scratches and stuff like that. And it does work. It does retain zero very, very well. especially for a $400 optic. That's what I think is great. You get Aimpoint protection of the electronics package, but it's $400, which I think is amazing. Now, what is kind of odd about this is that the Aimpoint really does not want these things exported ever, because there's actually a release that you do have to sign when you're purchasing this thing, so that you're basically signing yourself away and saying, I will not export this optic ever. Okay, it was strictly made for in-house use. So it's kind of weird in that regard. And guys that are planning on taking these overseas, just use the Comp M4 that they issue you, please, because you don't help yourself if you first of all lose your optic, because if you lose it, you basically exported it. So just use the optics that they issue you, guys. Don't worry about that. Use this as a good trainer for your home rifle. But as far as that is concerned, this is probably the best training optic that I can think of that's below 500 bucks. Okay, so check them out. If you don't like the mounting hardware on it, there's always options, but they are expensive, and that's why this is really, really attractive, because it is everything that you need with an Aimpoint for 400 bucks. I'm a regular guy 90, everybody, and that's my time. So remember, a regular guy's firearm is the last defense against tyranny.